Hey everybody, this is Jimmy with Texas Small Town Rides, and I'm here to talk to you today about touring. What is touring? Well, to me, I'm not sure everybody would agree on the definition, but to me, touring is whenever you're going to be on your motorcycle for longer durations, trips. You're going to be outside the city in rural areas for hours at a time, or possibly even days at a time, and on even those rare occasions, maybe weeks at a time. That's touring. So, if you're interested in touring, but you don't know anything about it, perhaps you do know something about it, but you'd like to learn a little more, well, these are the tools of the trade. I've learned from experience, sometimes the hard way, that you want to carry certain items with you when you tour. This is my motorcycle over here. It's a 2016 Heritage Softail Classic. I've got a little over 50,000 miles on it in the 4 years that I've owned the motorcycle. 1 year I did 27,000 miles. That was my best year, and the other year somewhat less than that. But it averages out a little over, 12,000 miles a year or so. And I've learned a couple of things since I've owned the motorcycle that you're going to want to carry with you. Now, some of these items you want to carry with you. Different brands are available. Some of them you use the Harley brand. Some of them you'll use off brands. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to talk to you about the functions of these things, and some of it's going to be limited to how much space that you have on your motorcycle. Some of you are going to have more space, some of you are going to have less space. So exactly how this goes out, think about those situations, and you can determine your own list of essentials to carry with you while touring. Now, the first thing I've got over here is a gas can. Now, not everybody needs to carry a gas can, but if you're going to certain places, you're going to want a gas can. I went from that Dallas area out to New Mexico, and there was this one stretch of road where there wasn't a gas station, and it tells you plainly for 180 miles. Next gas station is down this particular stretch of road. Now, at the time, I wasn't sure if my motorcycle, I was riding two up, my wife was on the back and I was riding, and I wasn't sure if my bike would make it two up. I had been that far solo, but I wasn't quite sure if I was going to make it with the extra weight, and we had our luggage with us and everything. But I did have a little gas can, a little gas with me. And we made it. We didn't necessarily need it, but that peace of mind that comes with having it was priceless. Next thing you're going to want to do is have forms of protective equipment. You might want to have some gloves with you. Wear gloves, protects you from the sun, helps your hands. If you tour a lot, you ride a lot during the day, you're going to get all kinds of grime all over your hands, and gloves prevent that. If you're going to be riding around and camping, we did a camping trip. We rode all through Texas and we did some camping. We didn't stay in hotels. You're going to want to have a brick. Even if your bike has charging on it, and keeps all of your electronics, various forms, charged up for the nighttime activities. You may have a little speaker that goes off your phone, and your charging system's not going to be on because you're not riding your motorcycle at the time. You're going to need a brick to power all those electronic devices. The size and shape and price really don't matter. Those are up to you, but you're going to want the brick, and that helps you. Inevitably, you're going to get a flat tire at some point on a motorcycle. It really sucks. It's not fun, but the better you are prepared for it, it's less agonizing, I can say. So I'm going to talk about a plug kit here. Won't work on my motorcycle. You can see down there, my motorcycle has spokes. Spoked motorcycles, for the most part, have inner tubes. Plugging them won't help because they're not sealed. Plugging only helps with sealed wheels. But for those of y'all that are on touring bikes, most of you do have mags, so you'll have a plug kit. This is called a reamer, and wherever the hole is, you'll kind of fish in or pry it out. Maybe it's a nail or something. Hopefully you got a few tools on you. That's what this is here. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Then you'll stick this reamer in there, and you'll go in and out, in and out, in and out, roughing up the rubber because that's going to make this stick. This right here is the actual plug right here, and this is like a needle. It's a large needle. You stick this through here, and then you push it inside the tire in that hole, and it's kind of hard to do it, but you get it in there, and then you pull it back out, and then you'll clip it, and then that will plug your tire and get you over to where you can put some air in it. Talking about air, hopefully you'll have a little compressor like this. It's powered off a 12 volt right here. You plug this into a little 12 volt outlet, what you people used to call cigarette lighters. Now they're just called 12 volt outlets. And it's a little compressor. Takes a while to get it up. It's got a little gauge. It tells you stop it when it gets to 40, and that's where your tire needs to be, about 40. Now, maybe your bike, like my bike, doesn't have 12 volts. Hopefully you can flag down a car that's driving by, because most of them will have it, and they can stop, help you for about 5 minutes, air up your tire, and you can be on your way to get your tire replaced at a authorized dealership or repair facility. But you're going to need to air it back up. For those people who have spokes that they wonder what they can, I've got an inner tube, what can I do? Well, you can use Fix-A-Flat, but you need to get it to immediately. You can just try to air it up and limp it along. Maybe if you're worried about damaging your wheel, you can walk alongside your motorcycle as the motorcycle is running and you're walking it along if you don't have that far to go. If you do have a long ways to go, then having a number, calling a tow truck, having somebody come get you will probably be your best option if you cannot get the tire reinflated and kept inflated for a reasonable amount of time so you can actually move the motorcycle several miles. First aid kit. Nobody likes to get hurt. Nobody likes it when they are hurt. But having a first aid kit makes it easier when somebody does get hurt. My first aid kit, I carry also a little bit of medicine. I've got some ibuprofen, some different Tylenols, got some sunburn medicine. It's got other stuff in there like a warm blanket should you find somebody in shock. You come across a motorcycle wreck or even a car wreck, somebody's going into shock. It's got a little blanket in there, a thermal blanket that keeps them warm and helps them in shock, and other various things. You can get a little first aid kit at Walmart. They come in handy when people get hurt. This also acts as a brick, but this also starts your motorcycle. You've done the forbidden. You've left on the ignition. The motorcycle battery is dead. You can't get it started. This thing is a lifesaver. This thing will start your motorcycle. You plug this in here. You access your battery. Plug these to the terminals, press the button, you wait a few minutes, it equalizes the charge between this booster and your battery or your bike will start. Boom. It'll start a car, it starts a diesel. I've helped an 18-wheeler get his truck started with this. It also has a flashlight on it, should you need it, different types of little flashlight in case you need to set it, flashing, strobing behind your bike if you need it. Really handy. Zip ties, important to keep on your bike. Never know when they're going to come in handy, but they do. We were touring Texas. We were on a week-long ride around Texas, very far from home. A friend of mine, his exhaust clamp fell off his motorcycle. The exhaust thankfully remained, but it was waving in the air, and so we put some cloth around it, some towels, and we zip tied it and kept it in place until we got to a dealership about 18 hours later, and they were able to make the proper repair to the motorcycle. This is a jiffy stand plate or a kickstand plate. If you go down to the beach, you ride your motorcycle to the beach, or you get any kind of soft earth or mud, you want to distribute the weight of your kickstand out so it won't sink in there. This is what you use. Put your kickstand right in here. It distributes the weight so it doesn't sink in the sand or mud or wet earth. Flashlight. You never know when you're going to get trapped at night. Keeping the flashlights handy. And we got a little tool kit right here. These are some needle nose pliers, side cutters, tweezers. We got a little screwdriver in here with different heads, and some small sockets that can go in there too. And we also got these small little jeweler's screwdrivers. Glasses might break, whatever. Comes in a little handy. All of this fits in this nice little bag, which goes right into one saddlebag. Depending on what you've got, this was actually designed for a street glide, but but it does work in my Heritage Softail Classic just fine. You get caught in the rain. You're getting wet. What to do? Having rain gear is essential. When you get caught in the rain, stop, take out your rain gear, put it on, continue to ride. Folds down into a nice little bag like this. Store it neatly away in your saddlebag. I hope that answers some of the questions that you may have had about touring. I hope that helps in some way. If you do have any questions, comments, put them in the comments down below, and I will get back with you and answer them. For everybody out there, this is Jimmy with Texas Small Town Rides. Keep the rubber side down, chrome side up. Ride on, brothers.